Hi, and welcome back to the channel, guys. We are continuing Band of Brothers. This is episode 2, titled Days of Days. And we, of course, finished the first episode, and that was kind of them easing us into all of it. And now they're getting ready for war and making their way in planes and boats and everything, as we saw at the end of the episode. And there are already many, or like a fair deal of characters and names that we probably have to try to remember at some point. Right now I can't really remember like all the names, but the faces, I think, so far I remember a lot of faces, and I think you do too as well. But before we start the episode, I just want to mention real quick that if you hear any noise, then it is just our neighbors as usual. If you've been watching this channel before, you know that we have
very noisy neighbors.
Yeah, very noisy neighbors, and they like to move stuff around and, start working on home improvement in the middle of the day, and sometimes in the middle of the night as well, which is, interesting. So if you hear anything, then it's just business as usual, I guess. But let's jump into the episode. You can, of course, always check out our full-length reactions for Band of Brothers and all the other shows that we're doing on our Patreon page. The link is down in the description below. Let's go.
We hit, and in any direction you went, there would be enemy. You knew it, and that was all part of what you accepted.
We lost a lot of people that night, but you try to put it all on your mind.
Is he sleeping?
Well, everybody prepares mentally, and different ways. You just know all of that stuff that you see, those flashes in the clouds and everything. You know it's not lightning and thunder. It's just.
It's not.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Okay. That's right. Oh.
That was a whole plane of recruits.
Yeah.
Let's go! Jesus! Tell me to get him out of there!
That's gonna, yeah. Oh man. Whoa, no. They're all gone. You can just see people dropping out, and they're still in flames.
Oh God! Oh no!
Oh, and that's Winters and everybody we know.
And Meehan's, Lieutenant Meehan's plane went out, right?
Oh man.
Damn. Okay, so one down.
Follow me.
Nope. How can you even see who's who in this?
Do you have any idea where we are, sir?
I'm pretty sure I've seen that actor before as well. The young guy.
Some.
I think he was in Heroes.
I wonder if the rest of them are as lost as we are. We're not lost, Bryman. We're in Normandy.
Do you have some sort of signal? Yeah. Oh, building a. No, what are they doing? Yeah, compass. Yeah. Yes. Okay.
Yeah, and they shielding the light from the flashlight. Yeah.
7 kilometers away from our objective. And 4 hours away from when we need to have it secured. So, we got a lot of walking ahead of us.
Fuck.
Arnie, say, you in the hall up front. The hell is hall?
Yeah, exactly.
Horses?
Wait for my command.
Okay, yeah, exactly. Enough.
Dude.
Quaker.
What's that guy's problem?
Gonorrhea. Really? His name, dummy. Garnier. Gonorrhea, get it?
So besides having a shitty name, what's his problem?
His brother just died.
fucking business, cowboy.
Looks like a beautiful little walk. If it wasn't because of
What?
you know what's going on.
Shout to me for killing Krauts.
He just wanted you to wait for his command.
Yeah.
Joe, you don't even drink.
And
So what?
Top of the morning to you fellas. Enjoying the war?
Where you from, son? Eugene, Oregon.
Eugene? You gotta be kidding me.
All true Aryans should return to the fatherland.
What got you to Eugene?
I was born in Eugene.
it's really random,
Super
interesting though. Like, it paints a picture, right? Like, you're born and raised the same place, but you're fighting on opposite sides of the war. You're not that different, like, at all. It's just.
And this here's Hall, Able Company, right? Known as Cowboy. From Texas? Manhattan.
So now his name is Cowboy.
And he's from Manhattan.
Good to see you, Dick.
Yeah, you too, Buck.
At least they found each other.
Not good. 90% of the men are still unaccounted for.
90?
No one's seen him, or anyone from this plane. You know, if he is missing, wouldn't that put you in line to be the next commander of Easy?
Yeah.
Still waiting for orders.
You got some cigarettes?
Just threw them away. Or.
Maybe an empty one.
Oh, that was.
Hey, keep it back.
You and me, 100 miles from each other, working at practically the same job. Jeez.
Hey, Malak, we're waiting on you.
Yeah, I'm coming. I gotta run. I'll see you around. Yeah. See you around.
No.
No, you won't.
He's gonna get shot.
Just giving them
Danke.
cigarettes, I believe.
Thank you.
Don't!
I just knew it was gonna happen.
Yeah. Especially after that see you around thing. Like, no.
We'll be making the main assault. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, let's pack it up, boys.
Shouldn't you be outside with the other Able Company guys?
See you around, all.
Aww.
I want that TNT as soon as you see we've captured the first gun. Go.
I can't see nothing.
They just look at a tree and like contemplate whether or not climbing it. Okay,
Yep.
well, yep. That's a way to get the high ground, yeah. You are sitting ducks up there. Yeah, grenades. Good idea.
Oh, shit.
Did someone hit him in the ass?
Jesus Christ! Fucking Jeep jockey.
Come on, man. He's doing his best. Oh no. It's right there.
One lucky bastard, Joe.
What happened? Nothing?
Where you hit, Pop?
I can't believe I fucked up my ass, son.
Your ass.
Like right in the ass?
On the clock! Grenade! Toy! Let's go! Get out of there! Get out!
Oh, dude, fuck.
Fucking twice.
Yeah.
sorry,
twice.
it's not funny, but,
No.
but it's funny.
At least he's like surviving miraculously every time.
The second gun. Grenades first. Then keep going. Go! Right.
And don't fumble it this time.
Yeah. Don't fucking.
Nick schießen! Ich hab deine Waffe mehr! Bitte! Nick schießen! No make back! Nick schießen! Bitte! No Nick schießen!
Dude, just knocked him out.
He's got like knuckles.
Yeah, brass knuckles.
I think one of those dead crabs has a Luger! Oh wow! Keep your head low, Patty! Come on, move it!
He just really wants that fucking Luger.
Jesus Christ, they must think he's a medic or something! He's gonna need a goddamn medic! Malarkey!
Oh, zigzagging like a champion. Jesus.
Why don't you go get it for you, stupid Mick?
Stupid Mac.
Where's Lester with that TNT? Don't know, sir! Hiya, cowboy! Shut your fucking Jimmy trap, gonorrhea! Alright there, kid! Jesus, you got a whole truck with food out there!
That's the way to do it.
Fire in the hole! Okay, Hall. Keep your head down! Fire in the hole!
No, man. What? Oh, man.
I really like that guy.
Yeah.
You're kidding! It's back that away! Do we know it? Had a little trouble getting through that first field. We're gonna need it at the next gun. Punch his blow and tell him to pull out. No!
He just keeps pulling that TNT out and they don't need it.
Okay, back to battalion. Go, go!
Oh, that was close.
I think we need artillery or maybe mortars might do the job.
That.
On my way. Sure. Sir.
Is that?
Yeah, it's
Careful. Don't hurt yourself. Nice ride you got here, Nix.
Next, yeah. Nixon, yeah, that's right.
Put them to work before they're missed.
Oh. The mud is just all red.
What do you know about cooking? You're Irish. Sir, if you have a reservation someplace else, just start dishing it.
Well, it's food.
Evening.
Hello, sir.
Something dying here?
Tell Malarkey's ass.
Any word on Lieutenant Mean yet, sir?
No, not yet.
Don't that make you our commanding officer, sir?
Yeah, it does.
Sir.
Joe, Lieutenant don't drink.
It's been a day of firsts.
First time
Don't you think, Garnier?
killing someone, then taking a slug of alcohol is not a big deal, I guess.
You know that map you found? That had every kraut gun in Normandy on it.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Nice!
Don't ever get a cat. What's on your mind?
He's opening a
Oh.
can.
Thanks. A John Hall, New Yorker. Got killed today at Brecourt.
Yeah.
He's a good man. Man. Not even old enough to buy a beer. I'm hungry.
Hey, Dick. Set that map up to division. I think it's gonna do some good.
It's just sad that he lost people.
It's been a day of loss in general, so probably not the best.
I promised God and myself that I would find a quiet piece of land someplace and spend the rest of my life in peace.
Very understandable. Just one day of having to go through shit like this.
All right.
Wow. They did such a good job. Right, that was episode 2, Days of Days. A day of many things, many firsts, at least. That was intense, especially if you compare this episode to the last one, where like it didn't even feel that long. This episode, it just felt like essentially the only thing that happened in this episode was, you know, like everybody landing. That's not a small thing, but you know, everybody landing, them arriving, and what's going on in the air, and then them getting to the ground and figuring out, okay, where are we, and how many landed where, and how many's missing, and all that stuff, and then kind of getting their bearings, and then being sent on this mission to take these positions, and they did that, and yeah, that was pretty much the episode. But just, yeah, I think they're really good at like just keeping the intensity level up here pretty much all the way through, and you were just ready for anything to happen, I feel like.
Yeah, my anxiety levels were just, you know, throbbing, or just like screaming through the whole thing, really.
Yeah, I was just about to ask you, because and you guys maybe know this, but war movies and like stuff like this is not something that you typically watch or want to watch necessarily, because it is very can be very tough to watch, and I know that it has some a like real physical effect on you. So how was this episode? And like,
once again, my anxiety levels were just off the charts.
Yeah,
it's just the whole, just before they started jumping from the airplanes, and just all the way through until the end there in the evening when they secured the guns.
Yeah, and they got some food and stuff, and things got to quiet down.
All through that, it was just basically me fighting to just remember to breathe, because it was just, it was really uncomfortable. I know it's supposed to be uncomfortable, but it's like, once again, my anxiety levels, man.
Yeah. And then even though they find time somehow to, you know, throw in some stuff in the middle of the battle that you can kind of laugh at a little bit. But it's you know, in an absurd way, because a guy getting shot in the ass, it's not like it shouldn't be funny, of course, and a guy almost getting blown up twice, shouldn't be funny, but like in the heat of battle, in the middle of everything that's going on, and I'm sure like that is the intention from you know, the people behind the series, that they probably wanted some moments of levity in there. But then you also get a moment of like Winters finding that kid from New York.
That we spent almost the whole episode getting to know him. And,
and he
was such a good person. It felt like he was such a he was, of course, a little bit frightened maybe, but he was just
and alone and everything. But he just. It was him that, you know, kind of shot back at the guy they jokingly calling gonorrhea. That like, shut up, you.
Guinea something.
Yeah. Just some of that stuff, and they were like, now we actually kind of like you, or now you're getting it, or something to that extent. So he was just maybe starting to become a part of this crew as well, and they were maybe starting to accept him, whereas at first they were like, hey, you're not part of Easy Company, so fuck off. And we kind of got to see some of like Easy Company through his eyes in a way, and yeah, I did not remember, I didn't remember much of this episode at all, and especially not his character, so didn't know that he was gonna die.
I felt it from just when we met him, I just immediately thought, we're gonna lose this guy.
Yeah.
We're gonna care for him, and then they're gonna kill him.
Yeah, and he's a young guy and doe-eyed and just
super
likable, innocent. Of course, we're gonna lose someone like that.
Yeah, we just lost so many people in this one.
Yeah, and probably they Lieutenant Meehan.
Yeah.
Probably lost him, and then
Simon Pegg's character. We saw how the
plane
that was the one with I think it was the one with the motor on the left side.
Yeah, that engine.
It caught fire, or it was shot upon and caught fire, and then exploded, and then took the whole plane down with him. And we did get to spend some time with Easy Company and know a lot of people in the last one, and I guess a lot of those were in this plane as well.
There probably were a handful of people that we got to know in the last episode that kind of just died off screen, and we're never gonna see them again. But that's also very real.
Of course, and they said 90% was
90%
of the soldiers were unaccounted for.
That is so many
missing.
Yeah, you get why Winters at the end there, or Dick as they're calling him. I've always found it funny that Richard becomes Dick, and Dick is like a name that people want. You want to be called Dick?
We're just not much older than that, I guess.
Apparently not. Anywho, him arriving at that conclusion at the end where he's like, if I ever get home from this shit, I'm just gonna find a quiet piece of land and just stay there and live my life in peace and just none of this shit ever again. After one day, mind you. And there's many, many, many days to come. This was just a day of firsts.
The day of days.
The day of days.
The doomsday.
But do you have anything you wanna add to?
Just a little bit about the cinematography. It looks sometimes it looks like it's from that time, and I'm sure it's completely on purpose.
Yeah.
But it's often they have these shots of either towns or when they flew over the towns in the dark, and
flying over Normandy and
exactly,
the explosions and everything.
And a lot of it felt a bit like it was It looked a bit like it was from back then.
Yeah, or almost like a documentary or something, filmed back when it all happened. But that's just kudos to everybody working on this series, because they're just really nailing it. And that is probably why it is one of the most celebrated series of all time, or celebrated limited series of all time. The way that they're doing the cinematography and, just the effects and the music and all of it, I think, they were really on full display in this one. Even though, at some points, you can maybe see that this was a series that was made 20 years ago, pretty much. With some of the stuff at the start with the planes and the explosions. And it's it's not easy. It certainly looks better because it's in the dark as well. So there are many of that, many of those details you can hide in the dark, I'm sure, when you're doing effects like that. But it still looked really good, and I think it definitely holds up.
Yeah, one of the things, and I know it's just a classical war shooting style, is that I don't know if it's handheld, but it's
the shaky cam thing.
The shaky cam thing, and and the way is just. Of course, it's meant to provoke anxiety, and the way it's so. It gives this almost claustrophobic feeling, and this pacing that's just crazy, and that's, of course, I think maybe it was a little bit too much in this one, because once again, my anxiety levels. But I understand why they're doing it, and of course, it's just like it's a trait, or
it's a technique you can use,
exactly,
to as you said, make it seem more claustrophobic, or make it seem like it's more
as if you're in that specific spot, and as like you're with them.
Yes, exactly. You're in the middle of everything that's going on. I definitely also think that you can use shaky cam too much. I think they used it like a good amount in this episode, and they used it at the right times and in the right places. And if that makes sense, when they were, for example, when they were running from like
gun to gun,
yeah. And the way they were doing that, and like getting that across, where it's like hurry, and it's very close up, and it's very chaotic and stuff like that. It lends to the whole atmosphere. And then once they get to that and they're more in a still position, the camera also is more steady as well, and you can also get some more wide shots and stuff like that sometimes. So they utilize a lot of different shots. So it's not only shaky cam, and that's where I sometimes have an issue with shaky cam. If it's you like watching a movie or a series, they go into combat and it's just pure shaky cam. You have no idea what's going on, and then the scene is over, and you're like, oh, okay, I guess that was a fight. I didn't get much out of it.
Yeah, you can't really make your way through it.
Yeah. It doesn't. You don't see the narrative of what's going on. So I think shaky cam can sometimes, do the movie or the series a disservice. But in this case, they did a good job. But with that being said, I think that's going to do it for our reaction and review of A Band of Brothers, Episode 2, Days of Days. Thank you guys so much for watching as always, and we will see you very soon. Bye!
Bye!